Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's practice, we'll be doing a 30-minute restorative practice. You'll need a blanket, a bolster, and 2 blocks. If you don't happen to have blocks, you can use books, anything that creates a little bit of elevation in the body. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow. And for restorative, we tend to stay in these postures for a longer period of time. So to stay warm, if you're in a really cold space, you might choose to wear socks. You might also choose to throw on some PJs, bundling up. So having anything you need to make this practice restorative for your body. The first shape that we'll be coming into, you'll need your block. Bringing it to the top of your space. This will support the base of our skull. And we'll bring our bolster lengthwise across our mat, and this will support our shoulder blades. So our arms will go lengthwise here, opening them up and spreading them. And this way, the bolster supports our back, and you might choose to bring the block on its second highest height just to meet the back of the head if you find that the neck is straining when you bring it down onto the lowest setting. And we might bring our blanket along with us, using it for a little bit of extra warmth, depending on the space that we're in. You might choose to wrap it around the feet. If you don't have socks, that's okay. And we'll start with the soles of the feet on the mat, knees are bent, just so that we can set up the beginning of our shape. Checking in as we lower down onto the bolster that is supporting our upper back. And then finding the block underneath our head, supporting it here. So finding a way to support the head, and then extending the arms out wide. And it's okay to fidget and adjust. And then when we found our shape, you might extend the legs to the top of your space. And just breathing in through the chest. Observing how this feels through the body. An option to invite a counted breath on the inhale, breathing in for 1, 2, 3. And we'll exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. And exhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. And if this pattern of breathing feels comfortable in the body, option to follow it through for our practice. And if this breath doesn't feel comfortable in the body, returning to your natural rhythm and pace of breath. We'll be here for 10 more breaths. To ease out of this shape, we'll plant the soles of the feet back onto the mat, shifting over to one side, and we'll be setting our props off towards the side. So setting the block off, shifting the bolster away, and we'll come to lie on our spine. So taking your time to make your way back onto the mat. And we'll bring the palms to the belly and then heel toe the feet in towards one another, opening the knees up wide. Option here to bring blocks underneath the knees. And you might bring the blanket to lie across the belly just for a little bit of weight here. You can shift the heels closer or farther away from the body, depending what feels comfortable here. We'll bring the palms of the hands to the outsides of the thighs, drawing the knees back in towards center. Soles of the feet will plant onto the mat. We'll shift the hips up and over towards the left side, drawing the knees in towards the chest as the knees fall over towards the right. The left arm can reach in line with the shoulder as the right palm rests on top of the left knee. Depending on the space that you have, you might bend through the left elbow, cactusing the arms. And then option 2, bring a block underneath or between the knees if you find that they're far away from the earth today. And can we direct the breath in through the left side of the body? Beginning to soften into this shape. And observing what sensations are coming up through the body here. And then slowly the knees will come back in towards center. We'll plant the soles of the feet onto the mat, shifting the hips up and over towards the right. Knees will draw in towards the chest as the knees knock over towards the left. Left palm can come to rest on top of the right knee as the right arm either extends in line with the shoulder or bending at the elbow, finding a 90-degree or cactus arms. And it's okay if the sensation on this side of the body feels a little different. Seeing if we can breathe into that space. Maybe focusing or directing the breath in through the right side of the ribs. And the knees will come back in towards center, soles of the feet to plant onto the mat. And then we'll be bringing our bolster underneath our sit bones. So on the inhale, shifting the hips up, we'll bring the bolster underneath the sit bones or your pillow. Option to also use a block, finding the bolster underneath to support the pelvis and the low back. And then the arms can rest alongside the body, palms facing up. Option, if you don't have a bolster or a block, you can also bring the legs up the wall, or maybe draping them over top of your bed or a chair. And then slowly lifting the hips up and away, we'll set the bolster off towards the side, bringing the hips back down to the mat and extending the feet to the outer edges of your space. Palms can come to rest on top of the belly. If you have legs up the wall, you might even decide to stay there if that feels really supportive for the body. You might even find a blanket over top of the body. Allowing yourself to feel supported in this shape here. Observing the sensations through the body. And starting to lengthen out the breath, maybe wiggling the fingers and the toes, nodding the head from side to side. And then we'll reach the arms up and overhead, legs to draw together, toes to point towards the top of your space, taking a big inhale here. And then on the exhale, draw one knee in towards the chest and then the other rocking onto your side. We'll support ourselves up into any comfortable seat with our eye gaze soft, meeting with the hands at heart center. And taking an inhale and an exhale. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. It was an honor and a privilege to guide you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.